Good afternoon. Dignitaries and friends, I am indeed happy to be here today at this land summit. And I am told since morning you have been discussing various topics related to land use. Myself being Industries Minister, Government of Maharashtra, I would like to take this opportunity to present before you some of our schemes and plans for the future. And I would also try to answer this question, why Maharashtra has been a magnet as far as industries are concerned. No doubt, Maharashtra has been leader in the country in industrial development, and the status what Maharashtra is enjoying today is a work of last 5 decades. No one person has created this, but all the people responsible for planning have thought much before this time of the future growth of the state. Maharashtra has been fortunate to have good infrastructure. We have land, we have water, we have power. So anybody interested in setting up their units here can get comparatively, I would not say the best, but comparatively better infrastructure in the state. My corporation, MIDC, Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, has as many as 280 industrial estates spread over all the state. Of course, all estates are not humming. Few of them, 1/3 of them, are almost full. But rest of the industrial estates are still waiting for industries to come there. They being in our remote areas, in Marathwada, Vidarbha, and northern Maharashtra. State is trying to make them attractive, more attractive, by introducing schemes of incentives. And we are trying to attract industries there. Our question is, this belt, Mumbai, Thane, Pune, Nashik, this quadrangle, this is a land of opportunities, people think. But for us, every piece of our land has equal right to be developed. And therefore, we have introduced schemes of incentives for Vidarbha, Marathwada, and regions which are still backward. We have reduced power tariff for these regions. And power is nearly 20% cheaper in Vidarbha and Marathwada. With a special resolution, we have achieved this. The land concessions are available. Recently, we have launched a textile park in Amravati. Initially, people were not looking at the place. But since we concentrated and tried to bring this location to the notice of investors, the whole picture changed. Today in Amravati, we have as many as 11 leading brands in textiles. Raymond's, Siaram, Indo-Shamfab, Modi's, and so on. And with these leading brands, other companies are also, which belong to MSMEs, they are also now attracted to Amravati. We have developed a state-of-the-art facilities there. One has to visit to believe. We have set up most effective, I'm using this word carefully, effective CETP, effluent treatment plant. Because in sector of textiles, this is absolutely necessary to treat the discharged water and release it elsewhere. So CTP there in Amravati is of good quality and most modern. Likewise, we want to develop 9 more textile parks in the state. Why I'm focusing textile? Because Maharashtra is producing good cotton and huge quantities of cotton. But so far we observed that 80% of cotton produced in the state is sent outside in other states or it is exported. There is no value addition in the state. What we experienced in the previous decades, all the textile industries flourished in Mumbai, in Malegaon, Ichalkaranji, and so on, where there is no cotton growing. But the cotton growing areas of Vidarbha, Marathwada, northern Maharashtra, they lacked these industries and value addition. So all these new textile parks would be set up only and only in cotton growing areas. So our farmers will be benefited. They will get better price for their produce, and the youngsters will get opportunities in this sector. At the same time, we also wish to offer schemes of skill development. Unless we make our young generation employable, only having degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the hands is not sufficient. Today's employer wants to know what this new entrant would do for my company. And therefore, Government of Maharashtra has launched an ambitious scheme, Maharashtra Skill Development Corporation, and we are converting our ITIs, Industrial Training Institutes, into modern educational centers, which would be directly in sync with the industries. What the industry needs, we must try to teach. And therefore, we have offered many industrial training institutes to leading industrial houses. Larsen & Toubro, Mercedes-Benz, Bharat Forge, Volkswagen, all these companies have adopted some ITIs, and they have changed the teaching methods, the courses. Courses based on industrial use are being introduced, and therefore the students are getting useful, meaningful education. So skill development is the call of the day. We have also introduced many policies. In last 2 years, we have introduced IT policy, information technology. Maharashtra is the pioneer state for setting up IT parks. But in the years which followed, other states also came in the competition. They attracted IT industries in their parts. Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Noida, Gurgaon, and so on. And Maharashtra uh, was alert again. We collected the information and we prepared our policy, which today is recognized as the best policy in the country. As a result, there are many textile parks coming up. We have also introduced a new scheme of information technology township area. So whole township could be developed in areas little away from centers like Mumbai and Pune, since we want to decentralize. But many incentives are available. We are also giving the opportunity of setting up ACZs for information technology sector. And every month, a meeting is being conducted under my chairmanship where we approve the proposals of ACZs in information technology. So our aim is to create more and more jobs. Youngsters from Maharashtra are known all over for their skills in information technology, especially the software management. And therefore, to create more job opportunities, the schemes under IT and ITES are being introduced. And we also update these schemes and policies. We do not stick to our policies which are already introduced, but we would like to interact with the industry players. We invite their inputs, and it is not a matter of prestige that, look, this is the policy and you have to follow. No, no more. We try to correct our policies, improve our policies, which are more acceptable to the players in the sector. So this is one area where Maharashtra has great potentials. We have also introduced retail business policy, which is one of the leading policies in the country again. We have also introduced policy for electronics, fab, defense manufacturing, and a special policy, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar policy for entrepreneurs belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe entrepreneurs. And special incentives are given to these startups. So with these policies, Maharashtra naturally becomes a center of attraction. We offer and we reserve 20% plots in each MIDC for MSMEs, small, medium, and micro industries. We have also introduced a scheme of constructing flatted units. A small entrepreneur can't wait for his building to come up, purchase a land, get the plan approved, then construct the unit, bring the machineries, takes a long time. So instead of all this procedure, we have introduced a scheme of flatted units. Any developer can approach us. We give him 2 parcels of land. One for constructing flatted units for small and medium scale industries, and the second plot for his recovery of investment. So we are getting good response in this scheme. We have also tried to improve our infrastructure, roads, stormwater drains, power infrastructure, because Maharashtra is known for quality power. Getting power is not sufficient for the industries, but getting power 24 hours of proper voltage, uninterrupted, and good quality. So for this infrastructure development from time to time is necessary, and MIDC, my corporation, had decided to invest sufficient fund for this cause. Water recycle is our another dream. Now it is not a dream, it is becoming a reality. We would like to reuse the water thrown by the cities into the seas. Nearly 70% of the urban water is wastewater. We have a plan to purify this water and send it for the industrial use. With all this infrastructure development, Maharashtra has been fortunate to have knowledgeable, skilled workers. Any industry who want to recruit engineers, they can get hundreds of engineers in one day. Since Maharashtra has more than 1,000 engineering colleges and producing more than 100,000 students with engineering degrees every year. So this is educated, skilled manpower pool available here in the state. This is one reason why Maharashtra is the center of attraction and land of opportunities and has become a magnet. Therefore, we could experience in the recently announced DIPP's report, DIPP, that is Department of Industries, Policy and Promotion, Government of India. They released statistics regarding foreign direct investment over the last 6 months. And we could readily see the total investment coming from other countries into India is X amount. Out of that, 50% FDI came only to Maharashtra. This is evidence how Maharashtra has become a magnet. Last year, we organized Make in India Week in BKC, Bandra. Many MOUs were signed with different states. All the states were present. Maharashtra alone could attract MOUs worth rupees 8 lakh crores, more than 50% of the total MOU amount registered with other states. So we are trying and to maintain this situation. We are trying to improve. Much has to be done, and suggestions from industries are welcome. I usually try to grab the opportunity to interact with the industry players. We have continuous rapport, continuous dialogue with industrial associations, and with their inputs, we try to enrich our resources, enrich our infrastructure, and reach to the higher goals. We are not just relaxing and sitting back and enjoying the success, whatever has been described, but we want to reach higher and higher goals with the active support of all the industries. I'm sure Maharashtra will not be only the leader, but will take the whole country to a higher mark. And here, I wish to invite all of you to join hands with the government officials, we in the government, and together let us go ahead, not only for the prosperity, but providing jobs to our young generation. India is blessed with the youngest population. More than 60% of the population is under age of 35 years. So it is a blessing, but at the same time, it's a challenge before any government. And this is one reason why we want to work hard and still harder. With these words, I would like to conclude my views. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share my views with you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you very much, sir. We're going to quickly check with sir if we can open the floor for questions. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Let's take your question. Check.
Sir, I represent Builders Association of India, which is the association of the construction industry and the contractors, mainly. We are not developers. Sir, our problem is skilled labor. Skilled labor, in fact, construction industry is the second highest labor employment potential next to agriculture. Unfortunately, we don't have training for plumbers, carpenters, bar vendors, drivers, and with this mechanized system of coming in the infrastructure, we have lacked in training the skilled manpower, and Maharashtra, compared to other states, is not as forward in paying attention to the skill training. Even ITIs are not giving attention except to industry, but not to civil engineering sector of the construction industry. Yes. Today, if you see, there's a demand of all types of skilled workers in the construction industry, and they are paid very well if they are trained. Compared to the efficiency of the other country, our efficiency is the lowest compared to all. I suggest that we should have focus on training skilled labor for the construction industry with the help of ITIs, where you have got a lot of funds which are collected from the labor cess, which is levied on the construction industry, which is a very high amount lying with the labor department, but unutilized for training the skilled labor. We can interact with you and give you the figures, and give you also the chart of how to have the skilled labor training at various places all over Maharashtra, which has the biggest potential. Today, skilled labor, apart from exporting, we also need. And
yes, I will respond. I appreciate your concern. Today, plumber, carpenter, or mason, they need to learn more modern techniques. And therefore, more and more institutions for training to this class are required. We in Department of Industries have a scheme to develop skill development institutions in every industrial estate. I told that so many industrial estates we have. In industrial estate, we will provide infrastructure, land, building, everything. The operations in that center has to be taken care of by the concerned industry people. Government cannot get involved into the training of the people. If your association is coming forward, we would like to cooperate. We will provide infrastructure. The day-to-day conduct of the training classes will have to be taken care of by the association. If this happens, hand in hand, we can go ahead. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We have a question from the lady here.
And this applies to other sectors also, not only construction industry, but other sectors, gems and jewelry. People are approaching us. So we are trying to set up a training center for gems and jewelry, for electronics, for information technology, and so on.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Varsha Jain, and we are into manufacturing of personal care products. Firstly, I would like to applaud you all for what you all have recently issued a lot of trade circulars which have come, made life easy for industrialists. So a big hand to the government for doing that. Sir, I would like to say that other than IT and textile and everything that you all are focusing on, the beauty and personal care industry is a huge industry. The kind of demand we have from export markets is immense. And I feel that the government should focus more on it and encourage everything that it takes to help us, increase the volumes, the turnovers. Like, for example, there is a lot of things that what we consume as an ingredient or raw material or packaging has to be imported because, it's not available locally, the quality that one looks for international standards. So probably is there anything like backward integration that you all are focusing on in India for the kind of raw materials that go into beauty products like toiletries, skin care, personal care, both, that is going to be an ever, it's going to be needed forever. So that is one area I feel the focus is really not there in a big way with the government. Secondly, we are a startup industry, it's a small industry, small scale industry. The challenges that we are facing in Maharashtra is that, first of all, electricity, the kind of cutoff that you all have as a minimum consumption. When you're a new company, like the first 3-4 years, you may not be 100% of your capacity. Like today, we can produce 22 lakhs worth of, say, 2,000 tons every year. We are probably running 20%, 25%. So the cutoff electricity is very high as a minimum tariff, which is charged, billed to us. So if that is one area, if the government can, I don't know whether that comes under there, if that can be looked into. Plus, I think the beauty industry, if you all can focus on, and what other special incentives that are coming along, if we could know more about that?
We have a scheme of cluster development. Any particular sector is coming forward and they have specific requirements. We can address these issues. You, for particular sector, have any scheme for such cluster development, you can approach my department. We will definitely support and try to create complete ecosystem for this sector. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much. Yes, sir. We have a question from the gentleman behind as well as we also have a question here. Yes.
Sir, I don't have a question, but I want to give you a piece of information which will be very exciting and interesting. A European government has understood and seen the development model of Maharashtra and is so impressed with it that they are inculcating the role and the development model of Maharashtra in their universities, in which they as a part of the program of doing business with India. And they will soon be sending a delegation to yourselves and to your other colleagues in studying the thing and how they can teach the Maharashtrian model, the Maharashtrian development model to their university students in all over Europe. Congratulations to you, sir.
I will cite an example. Few years before, I went to Calcutta. Some 20 years back, I tell you. When our earlier alliance government was there, first Shiv Sena BJP government, 1995, I had an opportunity to meet Mr. Jyoti Basu, then Chief Minister. And that time the industrial development in West Bengal was the point of discussion all over. That was talk of the town. So I humbly requested Mr. Basu, what are those measures you are adopting for industrial development in the state of West Bengal? He looked at me, and I will answer this question, he said. He said, what I do is, I send my officers to Mumbai to learn what government of Maharashtra is doing. And I try to copy here in West Bengal. So this is the success of Maharashtra. We formulate policies, create schemes. Other states take away these schemes. We're happy. This kind of competition is always welcome, healthy competition. But Maharashtra in this area is also a leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Sir has to take leave, I'm going to quickly invite Arya Chaini, the Treasurer and Administrator of OM LAI chapter, to please come on stage and present a memento to Shri Subhash Desai. And my apologies, I do believe there are a couple of questions from behind, but please kindly note, Sir has to take leave right now, so we'll march ahead to our next segment of the program. Can we have a round of applause one more time to thank Shri Desai for his fantastic presence here?